So now I'd like to talk to you about how we collect benthic organisms. First, at the lake and in the river, where we're essentially collecting organisms that are not exposed to as much oxygen as in the stream. And so we use two grab devices. One is called a ponar, and this device is tied to a rope, and we set up a spring-loaded catch here in this hole. And so what happens is when it hits the sediment surface, the grab closes. I want to turn this on its side. You can see it's very sharp. You don't want to get any fingers close to that grab, but it's spring-loaded, so when it hits the ground, it just snaps shut, and it captures a whole bunch of muck and mud that has organisms in it. And so we pull this up. It's a pretty heavy device. And then we have to open it up, and we dump the contents, into a large tub. And so we essentially have a bunch of mud and muck. And we take that mud and we have to sieve it in order to get the organisms out. And so we usually are working with a couple tubs. And so we just start dumping the mud and muck through the sieve, and we run water over the sieve and end up having organisms left. And we take a 1 liter bottle and we basically go through and pick out the organisms. If we reach a point with the collection where we're just like, oh, we can't get it all off, we'll finish it in the lab, we may end up bringing a little bit of mud back. So in this case, since we're collecting organisms, just like with the zooplankton, they have to be preserved. So we use a solution of ethanol, which is an alcohol, and again, dye usually helps with some of these organisms because they tend to be smaller in the lake and in the river. The other device that we sometimes use is an Ekman crab. We've got this one set up for use in a shallow habitat. Usually cove or embayment is shallower, and this kind of setup will come in really handy. But similar to the ponar, when you lower this, as soon as you hit the soil, it closes, and then you go through the same procedure that you went through in